All right, buckle up, because today we are diving deep into the world of freebies
Mhm.
in name of game.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one.
Seriously, we got this awesome video guide from one of our listeners,
Nice.
and let me tell you, it breaks down this whole strategy for getting max coins from wasps that, like, most players don't even know about.
Yeah, it's funny how something so small in the game can actually be like this whole other thing, right?
Right, like, I thought I was a pretty seasoned player, but this guide is blowing my mind.
For sure. And the guide uses actual gameplay footage and even like a debug mode to show you how it all
Yeah,
works.
it's like peeking behind the curtain.
Totally.
One thing that jumped out at me right away was this whole concept of actors.
Yes.
It sounds like we're talking about a movie set here.
Right, haha.
But apparently these actors are like calling the shots when it comes to wasps and these freebies.
They're behind the scenes pulling the strings.
So can you break it down for us? Like, what exactly are actors in this context?
So basically, you can think of actors as these like invisible directors for each wasp, right? They determine how that wasp is going to act in the game.
Okay.
So you know not every wasp is just going to explode into a pile of coins when you hit it with your car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it needs to have the right actor assigned to it.
So a wasp can just be chilling out minding its own business,
Hmm.
and it needs to have a specific actor assigned to it before I can even like turn it into my personal ATM with my car.
Exactly. It's like every wasp has the secret code and the actor holds the key.
Okay, this is already getting good.
And it gets even more interesting. So the guide talks about this thing called collision status.
Collision.
Yeah, you can think of it like this invisible force field around each wasp.
An invisible force field.
Yeah, and if that wasp's actor has collision enabled, like your vehicle will just go right through it no matter how many times you hit it.
So even if I smash into it full speed with my car, it's not going to do anything?
Nope. No coins for you.
Ouch.
But if the actor has collision disabled, then bam, it's freebie time.
So you're telling me there are these wasps out there right now just begging to be turned into easy money,
Hmm.
but they've got this invisible shield protecting them.
Pretty much.
And the key to getting those freebies is figuring out which wasps have their shields down.
Exactly.
This is getting good. But how do we even begin to predict which wasps have which actors and like whether or not they have this whole collision thing going on?
Well, that's where things get really interesting, and that's what we'll untangle next.
Okay, I am hooked. Okay, so we've got our wasps with their secret actor assignments and these invisible collision shields. This is like a whole secret world within the game.
Right. It's wild.
But it sounds crazy complicated. Like,
Yeah.
is there any rhyme or reason to it all? Or are we just at the mercy of like random chance when it comes to these freebies?
Okay, so that's the good news. It's not random at all.
Okay, good.
Our source here goes really deep into how wasp spawning works, and it's definitely more intricate than you might think, but there's a logic to it.
Okay.
It's like each level has a set number of actor roles to fill, right?
Yeah.
And those roles they get assigned to wasps as they spawn.
Okay.
So in most levels, it's a two-actor system, pretty straightforward.
So like I smash a wasp and the next one that pops up in its place gets the other actor role.
Bingo! Back and forth, a classic 1-2 punch.
Gotcha. But then the guide mentions levels 1 and 3 like to do their own thing right.
Mm?
3 actors. What's the deal with that?
Oh, you're sharp. Levels 1 and 3, they like to spice things up a bit.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So instead of just 2 actors, we've got 3 actors in the mix, which means predicting those freebie wasps gets a whole lot trickier.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. My brain is starting to hurt a little bit here.
Uh-huh, I feel you. It's a lot to take in.
Okay, so let's break down this 3-actor system because I want to make sure I'm following along. How's it actually work in the game?
All right, so picture this. You're just starting out in level 1. No wasps in sight yet. The moment that first wasp buzzes in, bam, actor 1 steps onto the scene.
Wait.
Then you encounter another wasp actor, 2 swoops in, still with me.
Yep.
Here's where it gets interesting. That third wasp spawn, that's when actor 3 joins the party.
So if I'm picturing this right, that third wasp spawn is always going to be linked to actor 3 no matter what. Like clockwork.
Hold your horses there. It's not always that cut and dry.
Ooh.
Remember how we talked about actors being assigned as wasp spawn?
Right.
Well, the order those wasps decide to show up can actually change which actor gets assigned even in those first 3 spawns.
Seriously.
Yeah. The guide uses this great example with the playground and the neighbor's house in level 1.
Okay, I can totally picture that level in my head.
Yeah.
So let's say I decide to hit the playground first.
Perfect. So you're cruising through the playground, no wasps harmed yet, and then bam, that first wasp appears by the swings. Actor 1 swoops in, takes the role. You decide to head over to the neighbor's house for a change of scenery, and what do you know, another wasp.
Uh-huh, classic.
This one gets assigned to actor 2. Now here's where it gets interesting. Let's say you decide to swing back to the playground right, and a new wasp has spawned in that same spot by the swings. You might think it would be assigned to Actor 1 again, since that was the first wasp you encountered. But because of the order you triggered those spawns playground neighbor's house, then back to the playground, that new wasp is actually assigned to Actor 3.
Whoa, hold on. You're telling me it's not just about, like, knowing where the wasps spawn, but also the order in which I run into them.
You got it.
And that order, like, actually changes which actor they get assigned.
You're getting it. It's all
That
connected.
mind is blown.
And that's where the real strategy comes in for freebie hunters.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Because think about it. Once a wasp is smashed, that assigned actor role is out of the game for a while. So if you're trying to set up a chain reaction of those delicious freebies with your car, knowing which wasp is linked to which actor and therefore which collision status they've got is absolutely crucial. It's like you're choreographing a delicate dance of wasp destruction.
This is way more in-depth than I ever imagined.
And we're just getting started. We're still only talking about the first 3 wasp spawns. As you go through the level, more wasps pop up, and that order you encounter them keeps influencing those actor assignments.
Right.
It's like a constantly shifting puzzle.
Okay, this is all incredibly cool. But I gotta ask, like, how does knowing all of this actually translate into, like, tangible benefits for players? Like, it's one thing to understand the theory, but how does manipulating these wasp spawns actually help you in a real game?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And that's exactly what we're going to dive into next.
Okay, so we've gone deep into the world of wasp actors and collision and spawn orders. My brain is officially fried. But the big question is, how does this actually help you get better at the game? Like, is this just super hardcore speedrunner stuff, or can the average player actually use this to get more coins?
That's what I love about this kind of stuff. There's something in it for everyone.
Right.
You don't have to be some kind of speedrunning master to benefit from knowing how this stuff works.
Yeah, true.
Like, yeah, the guide mentioned speedruns and 100% runs as areas where this is, like, super useful.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're trying to, like, shave off every second, knowing exactly which wasps are going to give you those freebies without even slowing down, that's huge.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's even this whole strategy they call the gazebo route, where you basically use your knowledge of the wasp spawns to create this chain reaction of freebies. It's wild.
The gazebo route sounds intense, but you know what's really cool? I feel like this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, for sure.
Like, the guide even hints that there might be even more we can do with these wasp spawns nobody's even figured out yet.
Definitely. It's like we've uncovered this hidden treasure map, right? But we've
Yeah.
barely started exploring.
Exactly. Who knows what other crazy strategies are hiding in this game?
You and me both. That's what makes it so fun, though, right? There's always more to discover.
Always. Well, this has been an amazing deep dive. I've got to say, we went from swatting at digital wasps to, like, dissecting intricate spawn mechanics.
I told you it was a good one.
It really was. So the big takeaway for me, and I hope for everyone listening, is that even in the most basic parts of a game, there could be this whole other layer of complexity that most people don't even realize is there.
100%. And, for me, that's a good lesson for life, too, not just games.
Totally.
Like, approaching things with a sense of curiosity, looking for those hidden patterns, it can pay off big time.
Absolutely. You never know what you might find.
Exactly. Never stop exploring.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Uh-huh.
All right, everyone, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive, but hopefully this inspires you to go out there and find those hidden systems in your own games and maybe even in the real world.
Yeah, go find those freebies.
Happy hunting.